Tonight, growing concern over the way the federal health officials have been handling the coronavirus evacuees in our city. Hours away from Super Tuesday, we're breaking down what to watch on Election Day, plus some tips on how to spot misinformation during this busy election cycle. Thanks for joining us for KSAT 12's News at 9, streaming right here from the heart of the KSAT 12 newsroom. I'm Steve Spreester in for Myra Arthur. New tonight, a judge denying the city of San Antonio's court filing to prevent the release of coronavirus evacuees. The San Antonio City Attorney's Office seeking a temporary restraining order that would have prevented the more than 120 people who have completed their 14-day quarantine at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland from being released by the CDC. The city wanted those evacuees to have been confirmed negative for the virus or have completed a 28-day quarantine before their release. The temporary restraining order was one of two approaches the city is taking in an effort to keep exposure to the public very low. Today, Mayor Ron Nirenberg and Judge Nelson Wolf issued a local state of disaster and public health emergency for San Antonio and Bexar County.
It's an emergency order that's good for 7 days. Hopefully, will not have to be used. Hopefully, they will do the right thing to do that test and not have them come into our community and expose us.
We have the situation currently under control, and we want to make sure that people are aware that our standard here is to make sure that people in the public are at no additional risk for exposure to COVID-19.
The group of evacuees at Lackland who have completed the 2-week quarantine were scheduled for release today. We still don't know when they will actually be released. These declarations followed news today that a coronavirus patient being treated in San Antonio has been returned to isolation after a weak positive coronavirus lab test result. This comes after someone dropped the woman off at the Holiday Inn Express Airport at 2:53 Saturday afternoon. It would be 18 minutes before she entered her room. At 5:13, the woman went to the lobby to request a hotel shuttle and was picked up 10 minutes later. She then went to North Star Mall at 5:30, where she visited the food court, Dillard's, Swarovski, and Talbot's. It was 2 hours later when she arrived back at the hotel at 7:30. On Sunday at 2 in the morning, the patient taken back to the Texas Center for Infectious Disease, the TCID, in a specialized ambulance. As the city of San Antonio launches a plan to help combat any possible spread of the coronavirus in our community, one expert says the community is the first line of defense in trying to control that spread. Patty Santos says daycares, schools, public transportation, and other public hotspots need to start formulating a plan now.
It could be difficult to track down individuals who may have been exposed to the coronavirus.
It is a very challenging activity, very time-consuming. And a lot of it is with, public communication, trying to get people to think about, were you there?
The Global Biorisk Advisory Council, or GBAC, helps train organizations and professionals to prepare for, respond to, and recover from biological threats like the coronavirus. Hot touch points like doorknobs, handrails are ideal for the virus to live on, she explains. She says some of the reports they're getting is that COVID-19 could live anywhere from 7 to 9 days on a surface under ideal conditions.
Many businesses who shouldn't be thinking and dusting off, if they haven't already done so, their business continuity plan, and especially with their pandemic preparedness plans.
She says businesses like schools, daycares, public transportation, and other public hotspots need a plan now that goes beyond routine cleaning.
How do we become microbial warriors to fight this thing off? And I think that that's what we need to be paying attention to, is how we can work together to make sure that this virus doesn't, take a hold like it has in some of the other countries.
And in order to avoid infection, city health officials advise you to wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If you're sick, stay home and cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue. That tissue then should be thrown away. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. You should also be sure to clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Steve?
Thank you, Patty. And with all of these new developments, a lot of people are wondering if they need to be tested for COVID-19. A reminder, local testing can only be done by sending samples to the CDC. A history of exposure to the coronavirus and CDC-defined symptoms are both needed before testing can even take place. If you're feeling sick, the University Health System says you should call your primary care physician's office. The CDC does have a hotline for people concerned about the coronavirus. That number, 1-800-232-4636. Meanwhile, all of these new developments aren't expected to affect the elections tomorrow. The Bexar County Elections Department says tomorrow's primary will continue as planned. And remember, the polls will be open tomorrow at 7 in the morning and stay open until 7 at night. And shortly after 7 o'clock tomorrow night, we should get our first results. And I am pleased to be joined by Christian Archer and DeMonte Alexander from Bear Facts to talk about a little bit of a preview to Super Tuesday, what we can expect. And obviously, a lot of people are going to be talking about the presidential race. Christian, things have changed rapidly. I mean, just tonight, Beto O'Rourke has come out and endorsed Joe Biden. Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg did so earlier in the day. Your reading of the tea leaves?
Well, I think, one, you look at Sanders and Biden, and it looked like a close race in South Carolina just a few days prior to the vote, and then Biden has a blowout victory. All the momentum is behind Vice President Biden right now. And right now in Dallas, that rally is occurring as we speak with Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke's got huge name ID, a massive statewide network, and is going to be a huge shot in the arm for the Biden campaign that's got to win Texas. They really do. As you look at Super Tuesday and the impact it's going to have on the Democratic primary, he's really got to carry a lot of the southern states, including Texas.
You think it's a must-win for Biden to win?
I really do. I think that Texas is incredibly important. North Carolina, incredibly important. I think Senator Sanders is going to do really well in California. I think California is going to be a great state to watch to find out, does Biden hit a 15% threshold? Does Bloomberg hit a 15% threshold? Bloomberg's going to be the X factor in the Democratic primary tomorrow night. It's really going to be fascinating to see if his $400 million has a huge impact on the race, and who does it take votes from?
Let's zero in on Bexar County right now. We've got some of the list of the highest turnout in Bexar County of the early voting locations and some of the lowest turnout. And I think we can take those right now. These are the lowest voter turnouts. Only 552 votes at Somerset City Hall. Then that goes, these are the lowest 5. Precinct 3 Satellite Office, 320 Interpark Boulevard. When we go to the highest total votes, Brook Hollow Library, over 7,000 votes. Wonderland of the Americas Mall, more than 5,800. So it's basically North Side seems to have the large turnout, South Side not so large. Does that tell you anything about the early voting numbers, or is it not the way it used to be where you look necessarily geographically?
The good news in Bexar County is that you're able to now vote anywhere. So it used to be that you could only do it during early voting. Now, even on election day, you can vote at any polling place. So you're not restricted to just your polling location. But as it relates to early voting, Steve, I think it's a little bit misleading. You really do have to look at the voters' primary histories and be able to see what primaries do they participate in. District 3 has a very competitive county commissioner's race, but even then, about a little over half of those votes are Democrats. 33,000 votes are Democratic primary votes on the north side.
Right. So, Kevin Wolf not running for re-election. A lot of people consider this a safe Republican seat. Do you think it still is?
I think it's going to be a safe Republican seat, even though Democratic enthusiasm across the board is so much higher than the Republicans right now. And the Democrats have about a 2-to-1 advantage in early voting for primary votes turnout. Now, obviously, we've got the presidential election that's helping to drive a lot of that. On the north side, there's the county commissioner's precinct. There's a competitive sheriff's race on the Republican side.
DeMonte, you look at more than 130,000 people voted early. Is that encouraging to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime people get out and vote early, that's what you want. You want to be able to pull a lot of those voters off the rolls so you can go out and get the ones that you still need to grab. And so anytime you see a large number of early voters, it's always a positive sign. But obviously, we still need to do better.
Steve, I mean, for decades now, we've been encouraging people to vote early. And Bexar County has a remarkable number of early voting turnout. Usually we'll hit in the mid 60s and upper 60s in many circumstances. Of 60, 65, maybe even as high as 70% of people will vote early, which when you think about the presidential primary that we were just talking about, a lot of those votes for Klobuchar and Buttigieg and so forth, they just simply don't don't really count
Right.
at this point.
Yeah.
Now that they've dropped out of the race.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to watch.
It sure will.
Give me a race or two that you're going to be zeroed in on come tomorrow night.
I mean, I
Devontae.
think the county commissioner's race for precinct 2, Justin Rodriguez and Quetta Rodriguez.
Really?
Justin was appointed.
Right.
So although he's kind of played in that jurisdiction a little bit, Quetta received 48% of the vote in the general election against late great Paul Elizondo.
Right.
So you can't hide that.
Yeah.
So that's a very strong 48%. But Justin, will his short-term incumbency, has he done enough?
Right.
To convince voters that he needs a second chance.
And his history in the state legislature and his history on city council, will it pay off?
School board,
Although he was
school
appointed,
board,
he still has covered that area for a long period of time. And I don't think he's lost the race.
Yeah. How about Bexar County Sheriff?
Bexar County Sheriff's going to be really interesting. I think that a lot of people thought Sheriff Salazar was going to be up for a tough election. With the Bear Facts poll that we did 2 weeks ago, it showed overwhelming support. In fact, across partisan lines.
Right.
But if you just narrow that down and look at the Democratic primary, he's got a 66% approval rating with Democrats. So I don't think he's going to have much of a race when it comes to the Democratic primary. And then when you look at overall with the Bear Facts poll where he was at 59% support, Sheriff Salazar's in pretty solid position.
Though I would say Willie Ning is probably going to be the one who comes out of the Republican, maybe go to a runoff, but he'll probably be the Republican. Seems to be well funded, has an impressive biography. Things can change rapidly in these races. So
he is a likable guy. I think people, when they meet him, they really like Willie. He's a very nice guy. I met with him a couple times. But Sheriff Salazar's in a pretty good position. There would have to be a giant shift in order for a Republican to challenge Sheriff Salazar.
John Cornyn is up for re-election, so they're going to decide who's going to run against John Cornyn. There are a lot of names out there that people are talking about. We've seen ads from MJ Hagar. We've seen ads from Christine Ramirez. Who do you think emerges from that? Are we heading for a runoff on the Democratic side to decide who the candidate for U.S. Senate's going to be?
I don't think there's any question about it. There'll be a runoff. There's also a very popular State Senator Royce West in Dallas.
Yeah.
African American's going to win a lot of votes. And the surprise candidate is a city councilwoman from Houston named Amanda Edwards.
Yes. Right.
Who's received the endorsements of every major newspaper in every major city.
Including the Express News.
Including the Express News,
Dallas
right.
Morning News, Houston Chronicle.
There's even Chris Bell, who ran for governor as a surprising, candidate for governor a few years ago and did surprisingly well.
So, it's across ethnic lines, it's gender, the geographic areas that each one of them comes with a base. It'll be a fascinating race to watch. I don't think there's any way to avoid a primary runoff.
Yeah. Another race you're watching.
I'd say Trish DeBerry and Tom Rickoff.
Yeah.
Tom Rickoff received over 200,000 votes against Nelson Wolff, and I think 2 years ago. And obviously Trish is no stranger to the election. They're running a well-oiled machine right now, and will that big machine combat those large amount of votes that he received 2 years ago? I mean, that's 200,000 votes.
See,
that's a lot of name ID.
I'm not so sure that a Democrat can't compete in that district. I know it's a heavily Republican district. Yeah. I'm just thinking that things are changing.
Steve,
so
and when you look at the race 4 years ago, Democrats are increasing their numbers and increasing the vote totals.
Yeah.
A 2-to-1 advantage right now in the Democratic primary. Nothing but enthusiasm behind the Democrats.
One other race I would point out is State House District 121, Selena Montoya and Becca De Felice.
Yeah.
Selena ran a very strong race two years ago against Steve Allison.
Yeah.
And now they're in a tight primary as well.
State Senate seat 19, Xochitl Rodriguez versus State Representative Roland Gutierrez.
Yeah.
That's going to be a competitive race to see
absolutely.
who takes on Pete Flores. The Democrats view that as the #1 Senate seat to take back.
There are so many fascinating races because there are some people who say Henry Cuellar could face a challenge.
Well, I think
Jessica
that
Cisneros, right? That's his opponent.
Jessica Cisneros is backed by the same people that backed AOC in New York City.
Yeah.
With a surprise, takeout of an incumbent Democrat. I think Congressman Cuellar is in a great position. I mean, the Cuellar family in Webb County is undeniable. The sheriff,
right.
A number of his family members. Webb County is going to be the supermajority of that vote. I have a hard time believing that he'll lose. But when you look at the amount of money you see her on TV,
Yep.
she's young, she's attractive, she's got, her message is getting out for sure. It's going to be a great race to watch.
Henry's also been endorsed by obviously Nancy Pelosi. So
Right,
she
yeah,
went
I
down
saw she was
campaign
down
for him
there.
as well.
Yeah,
Right,
so
absolutely.
that those topics and much more we are going to bring to you tomorrow right here on KSAT.com. We're going to start our election night numbers and reactions and how things are going at 7 o'clock. We're actually going to start it at the end of the 6 o'clock show on KSAT, and then we're going to flip over to the live stream that'll start at 7. We're going to go, probably till 9:15. We'll see. And I know Christian will be here, and I'm hoping I can persuade DeMonte to come on a little bit too. But we're expecting people like Kevin Wolf to talk about the people who are going to be running in for his election. Tommy Calvert will be here. Also expect maybe County Judge Nelson Wolf will drop by, and you just never know. I call it kind of like my political Wayne's World. You just never know who's going to stop by and sit on the couch. So thank you guys for being with us tonight. I appreciate it. All right, we're less than 24 hours away from the polls opening in Texas, and the big question you have, who are you going to vote for? Well, information all over the place, from news reports to ads to social media, but how are you able to figure out what's true and what's not? Tonight, we're going to try to help you figure that out. It's part of a new KSAT initiative called Verified. Where are you getting your information?
I get it from Facebook or Instagram, social media. I get it from the local news at night, the national news sometimes as well. Family, friends.
A lot of my friends will talk about some of the news that they read on social media, and a lot of it may seem a little iffy, so I try and dig into the facts.
Trying to determine what's true is a challenge. A recent survey from the Pew Research Center found that 50% of Americans cite Facebook as their primary and in many cases only source for news. But how reliable is that source?
After everything that went down with Facebook recently, you got to check more than one source.
I think it's fair to say that we are in an epidemic of misinformation. Perhaps there's not more misinformation out there, but certainly the access to it.
Fergus Bell teaches news reporters, writers, and producers how to identify fake news and avoid sharing it. But he says everyone who posts information to social media bears some responsibility.
A lot of people share without actually reading the thing that they're sharing.
When it comes to misleading headlines, what can we all do to avoid getting sucked into believing it and, worse, sharing it?
Are you operating in a little bubble? You see the things that your friends share, and your friends probably have a lot of common beliefs with you. What are other people sharing or saying about this? Is there an opposing view?
Fergus says blind trust is no longer an option. Take a few minutes to consider before hitting the share button.
Healthy skepticism, yes, absolutely, but we shouldn't be scared of trusting people, but people should earn our trust.
KSAT's new Verified initiative designed to detect fake stories and alert you, the public. Look for more on this in the coming weeks and, of course, during the election season. Well, San Antonio police say a recent deadly shooting was a tragic example of domestic violence in our area. A Colorado missing boy has not been found, but his stepmother is now charged with murder in connection with that case. And Milwaukee brewery employees returned to work for the first time since last week's deadly shooting. The San Antonio police say the case of a woman killed at the hands of her ex-boyfriend, another frustrating example of San Antonio's domestic violence problem. On Friday, Chief William McManus says 42-year-old Andrew Munoz showed up at the Subway restaurant where his ex-girlfriend, Maricela Cadena, worked. McManus said they had been searching for Munoz since Wednesday to serve a protective order after he had allegedly held Cadena against her will.
She did everything that she possibly could and that she was supposed to do to try and get away from him. SAPD and the DA's office did everything that we could to prevent this senseless death.
Police say Munoz is armed and dangerous. Anyone who sees him should avoid him and immediately call 911. The search continues for a missing 11-year-old in Colorado, but now Gannon Stauch's stepmother has been arrested.
Letitia Stauch is facing multiple charges, including murder in the first degree of a child under 12 years of age by a person in a position of trust and child abuse resulting in death.
Police say Letitia Stauch initially reported Gannon missing on January 27th, telling police he walked over to a friend's house that afternoon and never came home. But the family's neighbor provided a video that appears to show Gannon getting into Letitia's truck and leaving with her the day he disappeared. The video later shows Letitia returning home without her stepson. A shoplifting suspect is dead after a police chase in New Jersey. An officer's dash cam captured parts of that chase. At one point, the suspect peels off onto a side road. A postman waves the officer in the right direction, but it's a dead end, and the suspect barrels back towards the officer, narrowly missing him. Several units join the chase as they funnel into a small residential street. This video from a nearby home shows the suspect's last effort to get away, slamming into a cruiser. That's when the officers shot at him more than a dozen times. That suspect was hit and killed.
Police believe jealousy was a motive after a man allegedly used bullets and a brick to attack another man.
The victim found at an East Side gas station with a head injury and a gunshot wound. He was taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Police say they were able to get the name of the suspect, so they do know who they're looking for. It's just a matter of tracking down that man.
In Milwaukee, Molson Coors workers returned to work for the first time since last week's workplace shooting, where a gunman killed 5 workers before turning the gun on himself. Volunteers will be on hand for the next several days to offer mental health support to grieving employees. James Lipton, creator and host of Inside the Actors Studio, died today. The 93-year-old at his home in Manhattan and had been suffering from bladder cancer. His show Inside the Actors Studio had been one of cable's longest-running series. According to The Hollywood Reporter, nearly 300 actors, many Oscar and Emmy winners, shared their secrets with Lipton. The Trump administration's ban on bump stocks will stay in place. Supreme Court justices rejected a challenge to the ban brought on by gun rights advocates. NASA looking for its next class of astronauts. Today is the first day to sign up, and applications will be accepted until March 31st. Among the requirements, U.S. citizenship and a master's degree in one of the STEM fields. And today marks the birthday of one of the most popular children's authors of all time, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss was a pen name. His real name was Theodore Seuss Geisel. In his lifetime, he published more than 60 books like The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham. Dr. Seuss passed away in 1991 at the age of 87. Over his career, he won the Pulitzer Prize, 3 Emmys, 3 Grammys, and an Academy Award. To read more about these stories, head to KSAT.com. We'll be back in 1 minute. Sarah Spivey standing by and waving, ready to give you the weather forecast. All right, welcome back. Beautiful weekend leading to a not horrible Monday, just kind of a gray, overcast Monday.
Yeah, I'm glad that you took the positive note there. It really wasn't that bad.
It wasn't
outside.
horrible. I mean, the weather was nice. I mean, the temperatures were nice.
The temperatures were nice, but it was definitely a lot more muggy and gray outside, and that humidity is going to be one of the ingredients for some rain for us. Generally, by early Wednesday, pre-dawn Wednesday, we'll have some storms in the area, some spring-like storms too, with the potential for them to be strong. But let's wrap up today. Today we saw a high temperature of 75, 5 degrees above average, and our morning low was almost 20 degrees above average. And of course, that was that humidity we have to thank for that. Whenever it's humid outside, the atmosphere does not cool down that quickly, and we're not going to cool down quickly tonight either. In fact, temperatures are still hovering right around 70 degrees at the airport. It's 67 at
at JBSA Randolph, 61 at Bernie Stage Airfield, and 65 at Rio Medina. And what you're looking at right here is the difference of temperature and dew point. The number on the left is going to be the temperature. The number on the right is the dew point. Whenever temperatures and dew points get really close to each other and the winds are generally calm, that's when we can start to see some fog develop. And I do think we will have areas of patchy fog tomorrow. So if you're planning on heading out to the polls right at 7 o'clock in the morning, you may have to deal with some areas of patchy fog. So tomorrow is Super Tuesday, so if you are heading out to vote, just know that the weather shouldn't really get in the way. There's a small chance for an isolated shower or two in the afternoon, but we'll be able to see a temperature climb to about 78 degrees. So it's going to be a warm one tomorrow in the afternoon. East-southeast winds at 5 to 15, a lot like today, but a few more peaks of sunshine in the afternoon. And it's really after the sun sets and after midnight that we'll be able to see those storms start to work their way into San Antonio. A wider view here of the satellite and radar, you can see that swirling motion over Baja California. That's that low pressure system that is our rain chance. And I'll take you through the futurecast here. And what you'll notice is, again, during the day tomorrow, maybe just a few isolated showers, but it's really going to be after midnight, between about 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning, that will have that potential for a few showers and storms. A line of storms is going to develop. It's going to be a broken line of storms, but it's likely going to move through San Antonio between about 4 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the morning, bringing with it the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. So let's take you through the storm chance timeline. Again, late tomorrow night, just a few isolated storms possible. It's after midnight that our storm chances are really going to tick up between 2 and 4, and that's when severe storms will be possible. Then by 7 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, we'll be clearing out and storms will be ending. What are we concerned about with this line of storms that moves through? Well, potentially wind gusts of up to 65 to 70 miles per hour are going to be possible. And even embedded in that line, some quarter-sized hail could be possible as well. Not that huge grapefruit-sized hail that we had back in 2016, but again, quarter-sized hail could be possible, and even the potential for a risk of flooding with up to 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rainfall in some areas. Not concerned about tornadoes. We don't need to worry about that. Taking a look at the planning forecast again, the biggest thing to worry about is the potential for some storms early Wednesday morning. Then we'll clear out. It'll actually be a beautiful end to the week, and even into next weekend, things should look pretty great.
Turning to tonight's top stories, half of the world's beaches could disappear by the end of the century because of climate change. That's according to a new study. Researchers found that rising sea levels would be a key force in eroding many heavily populated coastal areas. That includes beaches on the U.S. East Coast, South Asia, and Central Europe, which could see shorelines retreat by more than 300 feet. The Supreme Court will take up the fate of the Affordable Care Act again, but the court says the case against the Obama-era health care law will likely be heard next term. That should push any action until after the presidential election in November. The Affordable Care Act will remain in effect in the meantime. Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg are uniting behind presidential candidate Joe Biden. Klobuchar dropped her presidential bid today. Buttigieg suspended his campaign yesterday evening. Tonight, the two are in Dallas for a rally to support Biden. As we discussed earlier in the show, tomorrow the big day, Super Tuesday. If you haven't voted and you haven't had time to prepare, we've put together a list of things you need to know before you head to the polls. We're also explaining why Super Tuesday is so important. It's tonight's adulting hack. It is one of the biggest days in the presidential primary season every 4 years, Super Tuesday. This year, 14 states holding elections, and 1,357 of the 3,979 pledged delegates are up for grabs for the Democrats. For context, a candidate must win 1,991 delegates to win the nomination. On the Republican side, well, the nominee has all but been formally decided. President Donald Trump not facing serious competition this time around. Here at home, we're answering some of your questions about Election Day. For example, where can you vote? Unlike in years past, Bexar County voters can vote at any polling place in the county, any of them. This goes for voters in Atascosa, Comal, DeWitt, Guadalupe, Hayes, Kendall, and Medina counties. The next question, what do you need to bring to the polls? Well, you need to show identification. Here's a list of acceptable forms of photo ID. The list includes your driver's license, a state handgun license, a U.S. passport, and a U.S. military ID card. If you don't have one of those acceptable forms of ID, you can fill out a reasonable impediment declaration at your polling place. So what's on the ballot? A lot. Besides the presidential race, there's a U.S. Senate race in Texas, the race for Bexar County Sheriff, the commissioner's seat for Bexar County Precinct 3, and the race for Congressional District 23. Now keep in mind, if no single candidate receives more than 50% of the vote, the top 2 candidates will head to a runoff election in May. And we have plenty of resources right now on our website, from sample ballots to a list of the busiest and slowest polling locations. Just head to KSAT.com, click on the Vote 2020 section on the navigation bar. It's the time of the show where we check in with what's trending. Ivan Herrera joins me to check in on what's happening online. And I always tell everybody, I never get to work with Ivan enough. So I'm glad this worked out.
Yes, we don't get to work enough, but I do see you all the time. So I think
so you're
maybe
tired of me?
I'm a little bit, but not too much.
It's a one-sided thing is what you're saying. Okay,
maybe a little bit.
All
no,
right.
I'm totally kidding.
All right.
All right, 3 great trending stories for you today. First up, do you like money and scavenger hunts?
Who doesn't?
I do.
Yeah, who doesn't?
So the Selma Police Department is actually hosting a citywide spring break treasure hunt, which sounds awesome. Yeah, and it's happening right now. It actually started yesterday, and it's going on until March 20th. So participants will go around. They're going to look for, they're actually putting up coordinates. They put up 6 different coordinates that you can go to, and you have to go look for them.
So this is one of those GPS caching things.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
A GPS cache scavenger hunt. You just put it on your phone, and then every single location that's hidden is actually a crime prevention tip, which actually I thought that was
Have you ever
pretty
done
smart.
one of these before?
No, but I want to now.
Okay,
now
now you
about
can.
it.
I mean, people that do these things are very serious about it.
And they're really smart for trying to get all those things, because I would never get it. So once you have all the tips, you can actually submit them and get a $50, get a chance to win a $50 gift card. It's not all there, not just yet, but maybe you get a chance to win one. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
So there's more details on KSAT.com. All right, next up, some of us dream about these things, dream homes in the Dominion. You go by them, you see them all the time.
Yeah.
Keep dreaming, but now you can too.
I call this the Greg Simmons life.
Yes.
The Dominion, gated, entry,
things we all wish we had,
all the stuff that Greg Simmons has. That's what I call this. Yes.
Well, now others can dream too, and get a chance to look at one of San Antonio's most gorgeous homes, and that's all right. So on KSAT.com right now, yes, it's in the Dominion. So right now on KSAT.com, this house is gorgeous. We have a video of it, and it has a lazy river, a grotto, a swim-up bar, and an outdoor kitchen. I feel this is Greg's home right now that I'm talking about.
That might even be a little too much for Greg.
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
So this mansion is 13,000 square feet, which is huge.
Yeah.
7 bedrooms, 7 full baths, 4 half baths. It's just the works.
You know what I'm envisioning right now when you said lazy river? I'm envisioning Greg Simmons in a inner tube, floating on the lazy river in a full suit and tie.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I can picture that. Actually, I can totally picture that.
Yeah.
And if we can get a GIF of that, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this estate is actually for sale right now for $5.5 million. A lot of money, but it's in a guard-gated community, so you have that extra security.
Okay.
So you can check out that video on KSAT.com right now. And I should add, if you're a fan of basketball, it has a full basketball court, which is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. So check it out right now on KSAT.com. Last up, Bluebell is overloading us with its new flavor. And I say overloading because it is overload.
Okay.
So this new flavor is actually called cookie dough overload. Sounds delicious.
It's called overload even.
Yeah, it's actually called overload.
Cookie dough overload.
And it sounds delicious. It sounds like your teeth are gonna rot after you eat it, but
give us the rundown.
Let me tell you what it has. Vanilla ice cream, hints of brown sugar. It has chocolate chip, peanut butter, and fudge cookie dough. All 3 cookie doughs in one. It's kind of like the Christmas cookie that they had before. I think it was last year. It was like 3 different cookies in one. Sounds like a lot, but it also sounds amazing. So.
And when's that going to be out?
And that's already out at stores already. So check it out on KSAT.com. And they say that they have more flavors to come, which sounds awesome.
Cookie dough overload.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
Thanks, Ivan. It's always great. We'll be right back. That does it for the KSAT News at 9. We will see you back here tomorrow. The live stream starts at 7 o'clock on election night. Should have our first return shortly after. Of course, we'll have it all wrapped up on the night beat at 10, and we're going to go from basically 7 o'clock and through the KSAT News at 9 tomorrow. Myra should be back. At least I hope so. I hope she feels better. Have a great night.